What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Stacked. This is a very special episode because we have a very special and important guest onto the show today. We're going to be talking about subject matter that he's quite familiar with, just because he lives the experience every day. I'd like to bring on our very special guest to Stacked. My dog Oliver. Come here. Come in. Thank you for coming on the show. Do you want to say anything? That's really interesting. So we've known each other for what? I first met you in March of 2019. My parents picked you up from, was it Idaho? You from Idaho? Is that where you're from? Where's your hometown? Yeah, it's somewhere around there. So yeah, we've known each other for quite a long time. Had some adventures. We've seen a lot of movies together. The other day, you and I we were on the couch and we watched Bridge on the River Kwai. That was a really good movie. Very good movie. Alec Guinness, he's more than Obi-Wan, You told me that. You told me that. You said that yourself. You were blown away by that performance. But we're not going to be talking about war movies or Alec Guinness movies, Even though, fun fact, the dog that was two before you, his name was Guinness. Did you know that? Did you know that? Did you know that? No? Well, it's true. I used to ride him when I was a baby. Can't ride you. You're too small. But I was small enough back then, so. Anyways, we're going to be talking about dog movies today. Movies with dogs in them. Dogs, about dogs, surrounding dogs. Oliver, what do you think makes a quintessential dog movie? Being a dog, Oliver. What do you gotta say? Yeah. That's a good point, the relationship between, humans and dogs. I think that's a very important thematic element to any dog movie. Especially, because that's sort of like their big, if you look at the what is it called? Semiotics. Thank you. Semiotics. The semiotics of the dog. What does the dog symbolize? I feel like the dog symbolizes loyalty, friendship, freedom. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below what you think a dog, movie is like. But yeah, I completely agree. Just the relationship between human and dog is very important when talking about dog movies. Boy and his dog storyline. Which is that's kind of like our dynamic, if you think about it. We're kind of like a boy and his dog in this crazy world. We've gone on a lot of adventures. We went to we've gone to the abandoned zoo a couple times out in LA. If you've never been, I'd highly recommend it. Just got up to Griffith, walked around there. You go on lots of adventures with Dad. He takes you around in his camper. Been to the Mexican border. You've been to. You're gonna go on a big trip around the United States this summer, right, bud? Are you excited for that? No? Well, I think you'll have a good. Maybe you don't like perceive it right now, but I think you're gonna have a great time. There's gonna be lots of smells. Um, Nibbling your paw. You know, that's true. Grooming, in like cleaning dog is very important to a dog movie. Um, Maybe can't really think of a dog movie where there's a significant scene where a dog cleans themselves, but I mean, you're the dog in this situation, so you know better than me. But what I think goes into a great dog movie, first of all, the dog's got to be cute. Lucky for you, Oliver, you're probably the cutest dog there is. So, hey, that's just a host just complimenting his guest. But yeah, lots of options to go with for dog movies. I think I'll start with my favorite dog movie. Is a fox a dog? That dog like is Fantastic Mr. Fox a dog movie? No. Is E.T. a dog movie? It's sort of like A Boy and His Dog, but I wouldn't call E.T. like dog like, you know. He's more sentient than you are. But there's a cute dog in it, you know. Golden Retriever, I believe. Elliot's dog. Very cute. What do you think of that? The scene when E.T. meets that dog. I guess so. Um, I've never seen Homeward Bound. I know that's popular amongst dogs, even though there's the controversial cat character that dogs don't usually like. But I think, let's see. Are there any dogs in Ratatouille? No. What? Um, okay, here's one. Here's a controversial one, Oliver. Here's one that I'm sure you didn't think of when you were preparing for this episode. Um, How to Train Your Dragon. I think that's a dog movie. I think that's a classic boy and his dog storyline. You know, I'm not really a big fan of it, but I think it's creative on how they did the boy and his dog storyline with, you know, Toothless and Hiccup. Sort of a society where people saw dragons as beasts, you know, and then this kid sort of befriends one and changes their lives. You know, I'm sure that was very similar to like how humans and dogs sort of came together, you know. You always think about like what was the first interaction between a human and a dog to like, you know, have that bond be formed. You think there was like a bloke like me like sitting out in the fire cooking up some meat and a wolf came up and that human thought, wait, maybe if I share my food, this wolf won't tear my throat out and kill me. He took a big gamble that night, you know, that caveman or cavewoman, who knows. Let's just use they them, shall we? They took a big gamble that night, you know, giving that wolf some meat. And then that is like one of the biggest payoffs ever. Holy shit. Gave the wolf the meat, and then they've just been besties ever since. Man and dog, you know what I'm saying? That's incredible. Don't you think? What do you think of history of man and dog? Oliver. What do you think? Is that? What's your theory? Well, you know, there's lots of other dog movies too. Um, All Dogs Go to Heaven. I never saw that one. I'm not gonna watch movies about dogs dying, you know. Especially like Marley and Me. You know, that's just I remember seeing the trailers around, and everyone would say that movie was sad. So I was like, I'm not gonna go see this. Who in what right would go see that movie? You know what I'm saying? Especially you. You look exactly like the dog from Marley and Me. I didn't mean that to be like, to say that all white labs look the same. But you share many similar features to the title dog. Even though I haven't seen the movie, just from the posters alone, buddy, you look just like that dog. I'm just gonna say. Yeah. So, do you what? Let's get to more about you, I guess, before we get into more dog movies. What's your favorite thing to do at the dog park? Do you like to go sniff around? That seems like that's your favorite thing to do. Whenever I take you there, the first thing you do is poop, which is great. Just get that out of the way with, saves me the hassle of like having to worry about that. But then you love to go around the perimeter and sniff, You're not really too social of an animal, I've noticed. And that's not a bad thing, You're a very independent dog, You seem to just enjoy humans more than other dogs at the dog park. And that just makes me curious. I'm not saying that like that makes me jealous, because it seems like you like to give the humans more like attention than me, like kind of like what you're doing right now. But it's just interesting because you go up to everybody except for me, and you wag your tail, wiggle your body, you beg for food. Why do you like food so much? I guess you need it to live. That's a good point. Um, but I don't know. I just find it interesting. That's just something I brought up, which I guess like relates to the themes of dogs, and dog movies. Just sort of dog and man being friends. Uh, do you like it when I do this? When I touch you, give you scratch and pat? He's very sleepy, listeners. We just got back from the dog park. So that's sort of why I'm trying to like ask him how it was, But he doesn't seem to really want to talk, which is a shame because you're a riot when you really get to know this guy. But he seems to be very closed off right now. So I guess I'll just like talk more about dog movies until he's ready to participate. So the very first dog movie I ever saw was Eight-Legged Freaks. Doesn't count, even though they run like dogs in that movie, The Spiders. I remember a movie about a dog that ate like a bunch of diamonds. I forgot, what was that movie called? The dog, it looked just like you. Ate a bunch of diamonds, and then like someone was going after the dog. The dog befriends a boy again. The boy and his dog storyline. That was a fun time. I remember seeing it at my friend's house in their basement. The end, the dog gets his stomach cut open, not like violently, like through a medical procedure, okay? And gets the diamonds removed, I think. Spoilers. I remember what it was called. Dog Gone. Do you remember watching Dog Gone? I don't think you ever have. You're 4 years old. I don't think anyone has ever shown you that movie. In that time. But you should definitely check it out, just when you're back home with mom and dad, just let them know, to just put on that movie for you. what kind of stuff do you like to watch? You know, like, I don't know. Just let me know. All right. Well, I know that you watch Jeopardy every night. You know, when mom's on the carpet doing yoga, you're probably gnawing on your bone or something, unpacking stuffed log full of toys and stuff. You gotta work with me here, buddy. You're not. I'm trying to host a show here. This is about you. This is about you, and you're just sleeping on me, man. And I do so much for you. I take you out, I feed you, I give you water, I walk you, and you can't, like, help me out on the show, you know? But I mean, I guess, you can't. I can't go into this relationship with you, Oliver, with expectations. That's the first rule about clean love, and that works for animals too. Like I can't expect my dog to be the best podcaster, just because he's a dog. And he can't talk. But I just want to say I love you for who you are, Oliver. And that's okay if you don't want to talk on this podcast and you just want to sleep. And I don't mind taking care of you, but I'm just saying, like, if you ever feel like it, to sort of return the favor of service back to me, your owner, your best buddy. Maybe just help me out with this podcast and, be a bit more talkative. Just this once, Is that okay? I guess. So let's talk about, let's see. Do you like fire hydrants? Is that what's like the appeal of a fire hydrant, Oliver? Like, that's a classic dog thing. You probably see that in a lot of dog movies, taking the dog out for a walk. And they like the fire hydrant. Is it because there's like water inside of it? Is that why you like pissing on it? You could smell the water? Or is there even water inside? I don't even know. Let's break down let's break down the semiotics of dogs. Typical dog behaviors that you see in dog movies. We got, they're often used for jokes, like the fire hydrant, right? And dogs sniffing each other's butts. That's like a big thing with dogs. Dogs going after squirrels. Like the movie Up. I think you've seen Up. I think we've watched Up together. Not Pixar's best, but it's got a lot of good dog content, I guess. What are other dog? Wagging tail? I don't know. Maybe that's not really a trope. That's just like a thing you do when you're happy. Maybe I want to ask you something. This is a little behavior that I've seen you pick up lately. And when I mean lately, I mean like the past 3 years. So you didn't do this as much in year 1 when we first got you, but we usually, when you pee or poo, you like to kick whatever you just left out of your body. Like you kick back like a donkey. And when I am trying to pick up your fecal matter, sometimes you'll kick dirt in my face. And I don't I don't understand why. Are you trying to bury your poop? Because I don't think you grasp that I'm trying to pick it up, you know? And I hate to like I bring you on my show and now I just feel like I'm bombarding you with critiques about your character, but you know, there's only so much you can say about dog movies that now this more just turns into a conversation about us, you know? We've gone beyond the relationship between the content in the frame of the film and truly what that means to us as, you know, master. I don't even like using master. What's our relationship? What are we? What labels do you use for us, you know? Master's a gross word. Are we just best buds that I like take care of you? Is it like that my best friend's like a baby? You know, because I have to like feed you and help you poop. And I guess I don't have to help you poop. I just have to show you where. I don't even show you where. I just show you. I mean, I guess I show you where, like a general vicinity, preferably outside, which you're good about. You know, you've never pooped or peed inside that I can recall. Maybe you did in the beginning, you know, because you were an infant. But it's just interesting to see. I don't know. So dog movies. Let's think of some more dog movies that are good. Isle of Dogs. That's a very controversial dog film, you know. Sort of with everyone critiquing Wes Anderson's use of a cultural appropriation of Japanese culture. I personally haven't seen the film in a while, so I can't comment on that. But I remember enjoying it just because of the dynamic between the boy and the dog in that film, you know. You weren't alive when it came out. Were you? Maybe you were. No, you weren't. You were born that year. Maybe you were. No, it came out like in August of 2018. You were born on October 7th, 2018. Look at you. Look how grown up he is, huh? But yeah, like that's a good one. Dogs. Stray Dog. I guess you could argue Kurosawa's Stray Dog, you know, because Mifune's character sort of lurks around the Tokyo during the summer like a stray dog trying to find his gun. I think that's the metaphor there. Are there any Ghibli dog movies? Sorry, I'm looking at my shelf, which the camera is propped up on. Oh, John Wick. Those are all dog movies, you know? It started with... Now, that is an interesting relationship or thematic interpretation of, you know, humans and dogs. Because the dog sort of symbolizes, you know, his wife. And I'm not saying like he's in love with the dog. He loves that her parting gift to him was this dog, because she told like that means that like you need to you need to care for someone. You need to continue to do that, or it'll tear you apart, you know. And then when he loses that, the last gift of his wife, you know, when the dog was killed by those Russians, it sets off one of the greatest action franchises of all time, you know. And when it comes to the third and fourth film, like there's some great dog content. That lots of testicle biting in those films by dogs. You don't really bite though. You're not a biter. You just like to lick. And that's fine with me. That's more than fine with me, you know. You've bitten me a couple times, but that's because we're roughhousing, playing tug of war with your lamb. Speaking of which, I don't know if this is a surprise to you, but I I brought your lamb. If you want it. He tore off its face. I don't know if you can see this if I'm too far away, but he tore off the lamb's face and paws. Lambs don't have paws, they have hooves. Sorry about that. But just on the right side. Isn't that interesting? Just to analyze this animal's brain. That these were the places he went for. Like, look, this hand's totally okay. This foot's totally okay. But no, I won't tease you like that. I'll just put it right next to you like that. It's just interesting to see patterns of why dogs tear up certain areas in a doll, you know? Maybe it's like a duck hunting thing, you know, because I think you were breeded for duck hunting. Not you specifically, like Labradors. I know you're breeded for retrieving. Could be ducks, you know. You got a soft grip with your mouth, so you can like not break their necks when you carry them. It's really impressive. But yeah, so dog movies. Is The Shaggy Dog? That's one. I haven't seen it. Maybe I'm ill-equipped to host this episode because I can't quite think of. Oh, I thought of one. Dougal. That's a great one. That was one, you know, in my years growing up. It's the one movie I stole from Blockbuster. It's Dougal. I stole it. Blockbuster closed, so I never had to return it. But that's a good twist on the dog thing, because it's no longer about a boy and his dog. It's a girl and his dog, you know, and the dog likes candy. Girl likes giving him candy, and then there's wizards, voiced by Jon Stewart, and Jimmy Fallon's a rabbit, and there's a snail. And the train, is the train voiced by Chevy Chase? I don't know. But it's neat. It's neat. I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode. I don't really know much more to say about dog movies, and he's not really participating. So, let me know down in the comments below if you enjoyed this intimate talk with me and my friend Oliver here. My little brother, I guess. My little man. And yeah, stay tuned for more episodes of Stacked. If you want more dog content, follow me on Instagram. I usually post pictures of Oliver when I'm with him. I'd like to thank Oliver for coming on the show. Oliver, where can people find you? Bud. Oliver. Look, it's your lamb. Okay, well, yeah, thank you all so much for watching. This has just been an episode of Boy and His Dog, and breaking down the relationship, dog movies. Okay, yeah, that's it. I'm done.